Hey everyone, it's Jenny Garcia, and my prompt for today is Elf on the Shelf. Now, I know that everyone is doing foundation pages, but foundation pages don't work for me. Every time I made some sort of foundation page layout, it always goes unused. It just doesn't work for me, so I don't waste my time doing something that doesn't work for me. But hopefully, you can use the ideas about Elf on the Shelf and layouts onto your albums. And we always have um, the day where she comes and the girls get to greet her. She always has, most of the time, she has a little note. In this case, we found this picture on the internet, and she just typed her note here and she signed it. By the way, I'm gonna be showing December daily 2020 first, and then I'll go back a few albums because if I have them all at the same time for each theme, it's just gonna be a lot, and I'm not gonna do a full flip through yet of this. So this is the first page. Last year, the girls were doing virtual school and they were staying at home, so she arrived in this quarantine jar with a little mask, and she had her puppy, and it was really fun because my daughter got to put her elf and bring her into her room and take her to virtual school with her, and she really enjoyed that. And then on the second day, she was still in the jar and she was getting a little bit bored, so she was reading this magazine. This is Elf magazine of December 2020, and I will be sharing this magazine with you on the group so you can check it out and print it. I use matte paper, but it still works. I saw someone that made like an even smaller version, and that was really cute, but this is just a 4x6 paper printed both sides. And the way I do it, I think for this one, I use the a designer app, which is from A Beautiful Mess. And I just pick different fonts and try to come up with different headlines: 15 easy cookie recipes, real tree or artificial tree, find the best one for you, best holiday movies of the year, etc., etc. I always find some kind of holiday commercial that would work with the magazine. This year was Starbucks, and then I tried to grab a few of the holidays around the world. And honestly, I wanted to add so many more, but there was like no space. So I'm gonna share the outside and the inside, that way you can print them out at home and share them with your elves. And she also brought an advent calendar, and sometimes she does that. She brings the advent calendar, she brings the quirky sweaters and socks that you have to wear for Spirit Week, so she helps out a lot. So in this past year, we were moving and we had a lot of boxes in my December daily, which I find quite annoying, but at the same time, it was part of the story. It was impossible to just take photos with no box in sight. So she decided, since we haven't put up our tree yet, to just put the Christmas tree star on top of these boxes and do a garland with photos. And we thought that was really cute. I have a bunch of these. Most of them are on my YouTube channel, and I will share the December daily playlist with you guys in my past flip throughs. Now I just have to finish day 25 in this one, and then I'll film a flip through. So this is the closest that you're gonna get for now. And this day she was playing Animal Crossing, which was a very popular game last year, and she decorated my daughter's island, and she did a great job. We also used the game to create the picture for the cover, and I have a tutorial on how I did it also in my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. She's also playing anything that you can build: Animal Crossing, Minecraft, Super Mario Maker. That's something that the elf maybe can do for your kid. And you can send your photos that you take on the Switch to your mobile number. So that's how I print them. That's how I can save them. Super easy. Now, every year, Charlotte dies a little, and sometimes it's more than once, so as you will see in this one. So last year, she went really fast. It was December 5th when the Ghostbusters tried to put her in one of those little boxes. It's always cool to use other plushies or Funko Pops or whatever you have around to help with your scenarios. Another idea that I forgot was that you can tell your kid what to make. If they play a lot of Minecraft, you can say, have one room or one castle and add two dogs or two cows or anything like that. This was with Super Mario Maker 2. And it says here, on the first day of Christmas, Super Mario Maker gave to me. And then I wrote, make a level with these, one character to take all of these, so either Mario, Luigi, Toadette, etc. That depends. And I got this idea from a card from the Feed Your Craft kit last year. So I saw this card and I was like, great, I'm gonna do something with that. And again, any building game works perfect for that. So when I say that Charlotte is very connected to the activities that we do, I really mean it. Like this day she went grocery shopping and she got all of these items so we can make sugar cookies. It was our first time, I think, making sugar cookies, or I think we made them before. And here are the pictures of the cookies. So sometimes it's as simple as that. Again, I have most of these videos on my YouTube channel, but if you're really curious about a product that I use that you want to find out who makes it or something like that, then you can ask me, because otherwise it's going to be a very long video. But again, she helped with the groceries. So someone shared this idea on the group the other day. I mentioned that I've done it before, and she samples the food she makes, so she has a little bit of frosting on her face. And I took a picture of the donuts too. It has like a little filter from A Color Story, and that one was really simple. So on day 18, we drove to Bass Pro Shops to take pictures with Santa. And Charlotte, of course, is a big fan of Santa. And I'm sorry about the glare. Okay, so here you can see that we put her in the car and she got to take a ride. And she has a little sign that says honk for Santa. And our daughters love that, having her in the car and taking a trip with us. And I like how sometimes you get to like peek a little bit at where she is. You can barely tell that she is here. So I like getting a few glimpses of that. This day she had another activity for us. We made slime, which you can make with glue, clear glue, and Stay Flow. That's the best formula. It's so easy to make. She also had like a little sequin mix to add a little texture, and I love this close-up. And I love this photo. I hate that there's a box in the background, but again, impossible to escape them at this point. But she's in the middle, and then my daughters are on each side, like making the slime, and try to make it less sticky. Okay, so in this day, I did not plan this. I was like, oh, she's gonna be so cute putting on makeup. And I love this photo. It turned out so cute because you can see like her little face and you can see the whole palette. And my daughter, this one, thought like, wait, that means that we get to put on makeup, which I can blame her because as you can see, she does bring a lot of the activities we do. So she did that and ruined my beautiful palette, but you know, at least she had fun. Or so I tell myself. On Gingerbread House Day, she also brought the kids with her little doggy. You don't have to necessarily get all the elf, you know, accessories or anything like that. I made her that skirt, and I am no seamstress. I am basic, but it looks kind of cute and simple. And I just tied a little pom-pom. I sewn the little pom-pom onto her hat, and she got a wire implant in her body in Beverly North Pole Hills, and those wires, and I will try to find the video on YouTube and share it with you guys because it's being a saver. That way she can stand up a lot easier. I know that now they have stands, but that seems like so fake. So yeah, we'll share that with you. It's being so awesome. And I know that this is not Elf on the Shelf tutorial, but I do believe that you can make these little, if she does, it's not your elf, whoever elves you have a whole village, that's cool. If they're not a big part of your stories, of, you know, the activities that you do, you can always make these little envelopes. I use the We Are Memory Keepers mini envelope punch board, and I love it. I recommend it 100,000%. I have this tutorial on my channel so you can see how it's used, or you can just make or buy any little envelope, and you can just print little photos here and slip them in here. Here I have, these are inserts from the advent calendar. Every day they made a little something with Lego, so I kept the instructions and I put them in these envelopes. But you can just put the photos in, and that way it doesn't have to be like a big thing to do. Now these next ones are gonna be from December 2019, and this year on December 1st we didn't have a tree, so she went on strike. She was really upset about it, but that helped us, you know, get motivated to at least put up this little one, which is full of my daughter's handmade ornaments. On December 3rd, she sat on my daughters have this very small tree, which is the cover of Elf magazine, December 2020. And she was just standing there watching them sleep. We're gonna pretend that's not a little creepy. So I have those two angles. I have one from the front and one from the back, and I like them both because here you can see my two daughters, and then here you can see the face and the lights and everything, and it looks really cute. I have the December 2019 flip through album on my channel. That way you can get more details of these items. I also have a few process videos. So this day she dressed up as a hot dog and read "The Pigeon Finds a Hot Dog." She was next to the pigeon and the duckling. And if you're a teacher or a parent of small kids, you probably know who that very famous pigeon is. And I got this hot dog outfit from a craft fair, and they do have a shop on Etsy. I honestly don't remember the name because, like I said, I got it at the fair. It was like an impulse thing. And I didn't took the photo with an Instax camera. I have the printer. I like it much better because I'm not the best photographer. So this kind of has more control over how good the quality is. However, the quality is always a little bit off and vintage. So don't, expect anything beautiful. It does look pretty. I really like it, but it has that vintage sort of feels, which is perfect for photos that already have like off lighting. Like this was in the morning, and you know that December is a very tricky month to photograph. So that was very good, and the girls were playing with the pigeon. And let me get this out with the pigeon, and oh, it's just a pain in the butt because my album's so full I can't even open it. So yeah, my little one is playing with the duckling, and my oldest with the pigeon. And here she just took some potions from our Harry Potter Christmas tree, and she was just mixing them next to Hermione, which again, another Funko prop. If you don't own any Funko Pops, maybe get someone who's not very serious about them and who like doesn't keep them like in the box and don't touch them or look at them or anything like that. Just borrow a few. You don't need to like get them. And then in the afternoon, we did gingerbread house day at school, and when we came back downstairs from taking showers and getting ready and everything, she was already eating my daughter's house. She always eats the gingerbread house. We should like feed her something other than donuts. For the past few years, she's brought some props to take pictures of. Okay, this goes here. Let me mix them up. That way they are next to the photos. So yeah, she brings props, and we take a few silly holiday photos. And I don't know, my daughter like brought up the photo game that year, and it was so much fun. And you can also do this with your Elf on the Shelf pictures. You can have one each day. Here you have 16, and you can maybe add a few photos of one same day, or just add a little journaling to a few, and that way you have 2 plus 2, and then you get 36. So this is from my youngest and my oldest. And I also want to point out that in this photo, she's wearing a dress that is, I got it in a thrift store, and it was like $1. And it's an outfit that is meant for the Fancy Nancy doll. So I've been on the lookout for that, but I was like, keep forgetting. But, another tip, if you have any old dolls, or if you want to order like really early on Wish or AliExpress, there's 2 photos with both of them. I'm just going to keep on this one here. So they also every year make a few ornaments, and this is a tray also from Dollar Tree. I always keep things that I can reuse, that they are inexpensive, and I have a little box of staging. So that's just pom-poms, little trees, buttons, and these are my oldest and my youngest ornaments. And wait, where is she in the photo with the ornaments? This is another close-up because I really loved the close-ups. And this is another one. I think this one is from my youngest, and this one from my oldest. And then here you have a picture of her with the ornaments and other items she used. And I love these elf approved die cut. I wish we had more elf items around, but not everyone does it, which, trust me, I get it. And also, whenever they're making something, I like close-ups of their hands. Right now they're so little, and my daughter, my oldest now, it's taller than me, and she has like big hands, and it's such a contrast from her as a little child. Actually, this is my little one, but before, from my oldest to my, to when she grew up. So this is another idea. You can use any board game that you have and let them play with it. This is an emoji game that if they guess the song, the movie, the book, then they get a golden poop. So my daughters guessed this was the Grinch. This was The Nightmare Before Christmas, and this was Home Alone. And they guessed it, and they got their 3 golden poops. Now here I forgot one from 2020, which I'll show you in a second. My daughter's teacher had an elf named Twinkle, and he had, actually, yeah, this one was like a note from that elf at school. So it doesn't have to be only your elf. It could be like a family elf or something like that you want to document. And I thought it was in December 2020, but apparently it was December 2019, where I think this is class tag, her teacher also shared an update of the elf. The elf borrowed the teacher's computer to talk to the parents, and it was really cute. So I took a screenshot and printed that, and it was one of my favorite things to do. I feel like, no, it's just a little washi on the top. I thought it was a flip. But yeah, and just, reading a book with her unicorn, a book about unicorns, and her unicorn sweater, which was a ornament from Target. And then I was looking for them like crazy because my girls only got 2. They was part of the yearly ornaments they get, and she like took it from the tree thinking that it was for her. So, and it fit perfect. So again, another thing that you can look out for in terms of clothes and staging, because the elf clothes are like really expensive. I don't know what kind of Abercrombie and Santa they have up there. It's so expensive. So this year, like I mentioned earlier, in Super Mario Maker, instead of them making a level, the elf made one for them, and the name was Charlotte the Elf Loves You, and it was like wintry and really cute. And I have a video of the whole month of December unlisted on my YouTube, or I have it in Google Photos. I can't remember, but all I gotta do is add I was filming while they were playing, and it was part of that video for December. And here she was just sitting with the Switch controllers. So this is another date where Charlotte took a little ride with us. We were gonna have breakfast with Santa, so she decided to come along. And I love these photos because in this one you can see Charlotte, and on the background you see Starbucks, which we were getting. And I took a photo of my review mirror where you can see my daughter, but you can also see a little bit of Charlotte. So it's like so many layers of the Starbucks in front of me, my daughter behind of me, and behind her it was Charlotte. So I love how layered that photo was without looking or being complicated, because I was just sitting there and I took the photo, and then I realized like how cool everything, you can see through everything. So December 18th is Charlotte's birthday, and I think we forgot last year, but oops. So sometimes she wrap the tree for her. She's like, well, if you're not gonna give me a gift, I'm gonna get it for myself. And sometimes we do like a little cake with frosting on top of an Oreo and like a little candle. And she has her like a party hat. You can get a cut in the Silhouette store and make it super small. Let me show you. And then she wrote happy birthday to me in a balloon. And like I mentioned before, she also brings the ugly sweaters. So she wrapped them. She has the tape as an evidence that she did wrap them all by herself. Must have been very hard. And then they are here opening up the presents that Charlotte brought for them, and also pictures of them with the sweaters. Again, we have another update from Twinkle the school elf, and it was also that spirit week. You know, they have socks, shirts, pajamas, whatever. So she also brought them pajamas to wear to school, and this is how they looked in the pajamas. And I love how this looks. It's like a little pocket, and I just staple the tags on top. And December 22nd was the day where she was snapped by Thanos, and apparently she's made of peppermints, and it was shocking. She's late for the snap, but that's okay. She's gonna be fine. She always comes back because the Avengers. So that's 2 days where you can do something. She gets snap, she gets help. And I also like the view of this photo because you can see everyone, but they're kind of like staring at each other, and there's still a little bit of the peppermint on the floor. So every December 24th, we get ready with holiday PJs, which she brings, and then we open them. And I always make sure that I get a picture of the girls with their jammies around the tree. I think this has been one of my favorite photos because, I don't know, it looks so peaceful. Nothing to do with the elf, I just like the photo. So this is the album of December 2018, and these first few days we didn't have many things going on. I did take a picture with her because, as I said, she brings the advent calendar. So I got also a close-up of the first one out of the advent. And then this was day 2 where she brought the tiny tree that now it's in my daughter's room. And she brought the items to decorate the little tree. And on day 3, she got tangled in the lights that she brought, and then she had an ornament in her head. And here she took off her dress and then took a bath in peppermints, which is how I guess she keeps that nice smell. On day 6, she made these gross pancakes. I mean, not offending her, but it says, I made breakfast for you, Charlotte the elf. And it was like super gross. And then I love that sticker with the little elf. And then a sticker that said, yum, said no one ever. And this is from the snarky ones from Tim Holtz, which I guess I should like pull out for my December daily kit. And this day she got into our fridge and she was stealing my shake. So I know that a lot of people like wrap them up so they don't get cold and put them next to the milk or in the freezer or stuff like that. Anything food related, you can have a little bit on their faces. Make sure you don't get their clothes. You can also use the Christmas tree. I have these brooms that I got from Target, and they are in my Harry Potter Christmas tree. But they were for Halloween, so she's flying them around. And last year we had a Nintendo tree, so she got eaten by Boo and one of the piranha plants too. And then this day, Hagrid told her that she was a wizard. And she had a little wand. Let me get a little bit closer. So a lot of the times it's very related to the theme of our trees. And the next one, she just put kind of clown noses around everyone. She was kind of mad about it. So my daughter had, her classroom elf was named Trixie, and I think this was kindergarten, and I love that little drawing, which is something else I always do. I include pictures that they make, so if you have little ones, maybe you can have one of the Daisy elf asks them for a portrait. I love the angle of these photos. She was gift bowl climbing, I guess, but I took the photo like really close to the wall, so it kind of looks like a different perspective than just behind of her. So it was her birthday, and they celebrated, I think, a day after. Maybe they forgot. Oops. And they were all around Charlotte getting, she was getting her Christmas wish from a cookie with frosting, and my daughters made a little drawing of the elf, and something again super simple. When I did got this photo, it's a close-up with the Instax printer, and I do love how I made this with the 3x4 and the 1" by 4 shaker pocket. I have, my album is super full, so I don't think I can get away with that. Maybe next year. Actually, this year. I keep thinking next year because I haven't finished my December daily. Only one more day though. Kind of want to staple this here, but I like it. So on this day, she was playing a holiday. It was called, it's Chutes and Ladders, but I think it's called Slopes and Slides because it's like a winter version, and I made this very simple garland. I think I got this idea from Marianne Maldonado, but I'm not sure. And one thing that I do is I save in my December daily board on Instagram. I also save some regular layouts because they help for moments like this. And here again, I always make sure that I include their hands or them playing. Now this day, Voldemort got her, which I think we all should have expected, but she wasn't paying attention. So this card is from In a Creative Bubble, but it's from a Potterhead Harry Potter magic sort of kit, which I also use a few times in the album. And the editing is kind of what makes some of these pictures. With the Thanos one, not really, but with the Ghostbusters and this one, the editing helps a lot. And I wish I kept the original photo with no editing at all, so you can see the difference. But if I find at least the Ghostbusters one, I will share it so you can see the difference. And again, we have another Let's Take Photos day. And every year there's many things that you can find, and we keep accumulating stuff. We have like a little basket now. Every year we get like 2 or 3 items that get added. And I love this one because I told her to like raise her arms, and then I flip the photo and it looks like she's falling. And I did the same one with my oldest, and I have less pictures because I don't think she was feeling well that day. So she took a few and then she was like, yeah, I'm done. And in this one, she took, she climbed into my printer and like took, oh my God, she took a photocopy of her face. And actually she was face down when she did it, and then she turned her head a little bit. So you can see how she's kind of looking at you too. But I love this. Instead of you can add the actual print, but I like this more. So you can do a few things and play with it and find out what works for you. Okay, so we're 40 minutes in, so this is gonna be my last one. This is December 2017, and here we have a list of the favorite holiday things, and you know, you can sort of tell by the handwriting who said which, but I still think that maybe I could go back and add some letters. But both of my daughters said Finding the Elf and The Elf. Layla was still in pre-K at that moment, so that was really cute because she was just learning how to write. She was 4, I believe. Yes, she was 4. Yeah. Now this year, the plan was that the elf, after working so hard, she was going to take a vacation and she was going to send postcards. So she went to Puerto Rico and Paris. She went to France. And, you know, she sent them a little message. And my daughters were not happy. They drew the elf sad. And this photo of my daughter was like, okay, this is cool, but already come, please come here. And we had many, at least around 24 postcards that she wanted to use, but you know, sometimes you have to sacrifice things because your kids like them. Okay, so this is a lazy tip that I can show you. You can let your kids do the work. So she brought this super tiny tree, which is from the ornaments they sell around. You can get them even from scrapbooking companies. And it said, hi girls, I'm back. Can you help me decorate my Christmas tree? And if you're a crafter, you probably have stuff to decorate that super tiny tree. They just use rhinestones and a little bit of trim. And we also were doing advent calendar back then, but instead of me picking the books and wrapping them, or the elf picking the books and wrapping them, she brought a little list that said, oh, I forgot to bring your Christmas books. Are you up for a little scavenger hunt? Look for books with Santa Claus, gingerbread, Christmas tree, a classic story, The Color Red, about a song, animals, family, and snow. So we went to the library and they picked out the books that they wanted to read based on the stories. And we took like the little list to the library and everything. And here I have proof that Charlotte was one of the first influencers. She took many pictures with Instagram filters and put them on my phone, and then she changed the background of my phone too. So that's another little thing that your elf can do. You can play with photos, you can print them and have her do a little layout. And this is the very first Elf magazine. Took a picture of her peeking over the magazine. She also was wearing an outfit inspired by the magazine. And like I showed last time, this one has 6 exercises for better flying, best Christmas songs this year, freeze, don't get caught moving. And this is just something that was online and it was added, and a Target commercial. So how cute is that? So you can pick, if you go every weekend to eat pizza at a local place and they have like a little announcement on Facebook, or they mail something, that would be something cute and local to add to your magazine. And I love this photo because my little one is looking at her like, how cool, she's reading a magazine. So this is another road trip that she took, but this one I had a different car. So on the other one she got like in a little hole where you like cover your trunk. But in here she had to like hang from the side of the door. She didn't complain that too. And I didn't cover this with paper because I kind of wanted to show this. I really liked it. And here we have another drawing of the elf. And as you can see, she was a little bit younger there than she was in the past albums. So her drawing was a little bit more simple. And her hands were like snowman sticks. But I love how you can see progression throughout the years. So my daughters always write their letters to Santa. And we do have 2 little mailboxes that they use. But I love this photo of my oldest writing the Santa letter, and dear Santa, I've been. And there Charlotte was just hanging onto their dry erase board and tell them to write a letter to Santa. And I made this pyramid of holiday needs based on Maslow's pyramid of needs. And you could add the elf there, but we really didn't. We did gingerbread, presents, baking, tree and ornaments, Santa, and family. So instead of being an actual pyramid, you could do it just a basic triangle or do it like a tree. And again, here she was making ornaments. She brought a box, and even though they were clear again and they had some of the similar elements, they looked rather different. And I look how they mirror this photo that I took from outside my window. Make sure you always label them too, because it's really easy to get confused. In a few of the years, Charlotte has picked a BFF that sticks around, or a pet that sticks around the whole season. And this day, she was coloring a little Hello Kitty image with tiny Tombow colored pencils, while Baby Mouse was practicing her lettering using Tombow practice sheets. And they are free, so you can do these little things for your elf if your elf wants to get like a new skill this year. Now in this one, she got in my Harry Potter mug, and she had, this is a toothpick. This was stained with marker, and with dry erase marker she drew some glasses and a lightning bolt on her forehead, and she was cosplaying as Harry Potter. And we all sometimes get a little poopy, mood during the holidays. So Charlotte was complaining. I think this was the very first year that we did these sort of photos. And as you can see, there were only 2 headbands. So eventually I kept adding to it. And this is an app that you can download. I believe it's with games, and it has games about the elf. And I know that it's not, someone the other day shared a lesson on sparkle. It was Krista or Trisha. I can't remember. I know that I loved it. So this was a version of another sparkly thing that you could do. And again, she was celebrating her birthday with one of those diet cookies that are not good, but we pretend we are. It's delicious because, you know, it has less calories, but they're not worth it. So that's what she had as a cake. And it was a paper, like a die cut candle too. You know, and sometimes we feel a little bit cozy. So these, I think we got these, the puppy and this bear from Happy Meals. So it doesn't have to be anything that you have to go to the store and get. We all have our not elf fails, craft fails. So I don't think crochet is her thing. Super easy. It took minutes to do. So I'm gonna wrap it up here because it's already being a very long video, but if you need any more ideas, I have flip throughs of most of my December dailies, and I also have some process videos, and I have pictures on my blog. I never blog, but somehow the past few posts have been about December daily. So you can check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and if you need any information about the things that I showed, make sure you leave them below so I can help you out. Bye!